Hey guys. Okay, this is really weird. First of all, it's 2 in the afternoon, just getting up. That's because I went to sleep at 6. I was up all night working on the new TV stand and setting things up. Come on, Chloe. Hey. She's a big chicken. She heard a little dog barking a block away, went back in. Anyway, I was up all night working on the new system. It's looking really good. I stopped because I need the wife's help to actually lift the TV. I got the new brackets on the back of it up onto the big stand unit. And tell you, that stand, I like it once it's assembled, but it's got a few little quality problems. It's made in China. There's some parts that don't align quite right. There were holes in the steel that weren't punched out. I'm going to have the wife put in the rest of the little suction cups that hold the glass pieces together because some of the holes aren't big enough, and it is really a pain in the butt to get this, suction cups in the holes. But anyway, it looks really good and it's solidly built, so I like that. Um, yeah, it's 2 o'clock and I just got woken up by the doorbell. I thought, oh, mail's here. And I come out and yeah, mail's here. Couple boxes from the mail guy. And I walk out here and I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, isn't it Sunday? Check the phone, yeah, it's Sunday. Why are we getting mail on Sunday? um, is it some special thing because it's close to Christmas? They're delivering mail on Sunday. There's nothing in the box, just these 2 packages here. That's kind of really weird. Anyway, I'm off to Best Buy. I need to buy a Blu-ray player, which is no big deal. There's a really good one on sale for 80 bucks. But it turns out my DVD player, which was top of the line back in the day, and it's still working beautifully after all these years, bought it with the TV. It is so old it can't connect to the new TV. So I need a Blu-ray player so I can have an HDMI output. And I'm going to look at some home theater receivers and speaker sets at Best Buy. I don't think I'm going to buy anything there because I don't know what kind of selection they're going to have. Oh, it's a Harley Abelson. 20. 30. God, I hate Harleys. I do not miss our Harley whatsoever. Makes a lot of noise and doesn't go anywhere. Anyway, got to buy a Blu-ray player. I'm going to look at home theaters there. Don't know if I'm going to buy one or not. I doubt it. I have a really good audio system here that I really do love, but it is a pain in the butt to use. It has zero integration with any other remotes or home theater systems. It's just got a couple inputs, and it's made for a computer, so it's got like a little computer remote, big dial that looks like it goes on your computer desk and stuff like that. But I mean, it sounds really good. It's just a pain in the butt to use. The display is on its way out. Sometimes half the LCD will just flicker on and off so you can't see it. So that is kind of a pain in the butt. If that went out, I mean, that would be a big problem to use. But I love the way it sounds. So I don't want to spend money if I don't have to, but trying to get out of that mindset, and if I'm going to do this, do it right, and I'm just like a hair away from doing everything. So I'll see what they got. We also have Tiger Direct, and they actually have a pretty good selection of home theater stuff, so I might drive down there. I don't know, I got a couple people that might be coming over today because I have the old Apple TV up for sale for just 40 bucks. Got 2 people that said they want it today. Friends on Facebook, not talking Craigslist assholes. And the old TV I just put up for 40 bucks just to make somebody happy, get it out of the house. It's huge. I don't want to do anything with it. So another one of my friends posted that she really wants that. So waiting on a couple emails from them. But I'm going to run out to Best Buy real quick because that's close. And if we can schedule the other stuff, I still got plenty of time to run down to Tiger Direct if I want to later on, and if I don't see anything really good at Best Buy. So that looks like it. We'll see what happens. Oh, I'll take you in and show you what I've got built so far. Here's the new stand so far. It's a 3-shelf unit, and these are big. You can see how big my hand is on here. This is a little one up top. So they're very spacious, certainly more room than anyone would need for component stuff. I mean, you could put 2 full receivers on the back, more than 1 full one on the top, and at least a full one, or the middle and a big full one on the top. So I mean, tons and tons of space. That's like 2 full-size Blu-ray players wide on either of the bottom shelves. The top is very solid. It does support a third more weight than even my TV, so there's no problem there. This does swivel, and I mean, it's rock solid. You can put your weight on it and it does not flex, but a pain in the butt. I mean, everything, bolts, 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 everything is bolted together. And everything has washers and lock washers and nuts. And then on the back of the TV, they give you these huge brackets. And they tilt. They pivot up and down. So these lock onto that bracket on the stand, and then you can rock it 5 back and 11 forward if you need to, just for the right viewing angle. And those just bolt on with 2 huge bolts, and they give you a ton of hardware to match any kind of TV. This TV happens to have a flat back, so they literally just bolt it in place. If you have a curved back, they give you the right spacers and everything. And of course, the TV itself. Haven't turned it on yet, but I know it's going to look awesome. And then the old TV, you can kind of get a size difference feel. It's noticeable. You know, just the width there. I don't think it would be that noticeable, but it is. So I took my center speaker down because the new TV is going to go up in the middle. And I'll probably take these 2 other ones down. And of course, if I get a new audio system right away, those will be gone. But it is a really good system. It is THX certified, and they do sound just beautiful. By Logitech, who would have thought? I mean, who needs an 800-watt sound system for a computer? But I mean, it works. I mean, it's not dinky. It's a 10-inch sub, hundreds and hundreds of real watts, big old amplifier. But here's the controller. I mean, this is why it's not really friendly, you know. This is it. So you get your big volume. The buttons are, it's like they're not discrete, but they are. So you can't program it easily into a universal remote, because in order to do that, you need buttons that have discrete functions, like on being on all the time, as opposed to power, which will toggle it on and off, on and off. The remote can't know which state a button is in. So say I'm switching inputs, there's an optical and there's a coax digital inputs. I mean, that's all it's got. So luckily, the way I was using it, the Apple TV had a optical and my DVD player had a coax, so that worked. But you know, these inputs here are for computer sound cards. And that's it. I mean, that's all it's got. So it doesn't handle any other inputs. I can't use my cable box, couldn't use a game system, couldn't use anything else into the sound system. So that's why it's very limited. Again, designed for a computer. So, puppy toys everywhere. There she is. Did you hear your puppy toy, Chloe? That's because you made a mess. Yeah, you got your toys everywhere. You gotta clean up your toys. Want to clean up your toys? No? Okay. Alright, so I'm off to the store. Holy crap, I have never ever seen them all filled. We're in the back lot. Okay, so I decided not to go with one of the home theaters in a box. I really wasn't impressed with any of their products. So I got this, I'm getting this Sony Blu-ray player. It's on sale for $69. It's just a basic one. It doesn't have all of the integrated features because I've got the Apple TV already. And I'm getting a Yamaha component system. Got it on sale, everything for 80 bucks off. Beautiful receiver. And a new separate system and a surprisingly beefy sub. So we'll see how that all sounds. I'm going to get the car. And it just occurred to me I'm going to have to go tomorrow, or when they're open, and get a new cable box. Mine's so old it doesn't have digital. Talk about an upgrade to the 21st century. It's about time. Well, a guy just showed up to pick up the old TV, and I explicitly, in the ad, said, you need a big truck. It is very bulky. Shows up with an SUV. So, he said he'll try to borrow a buddy's truck and come back tomorrow for it. And I gave him the measurement so he can make sure it fits, because he said the truck has a capper on it. And I don't know, that looks kind of big to fit in most truck caps that I've seen. Anyway, time to start assembling. Now I've got this old audio system to try to sell. I'm sure it'll go pretty quick. Got a lot of cleanup to do. Man, it is dusty and dirty back there. A lot of that's from the bathroom construction. I didn't move everything out of the way so you can kind of see where it stops, where I mopped and shop vac, and then I was underneath everything here. So, got to move all this crap out of the way. The wife gave up trying to help, putting on the little suction cups, because they're hard to put in, so I'll have to do it all myself. And then she can help me lift it onto this rack once I get it into position. Then I can put the glass on, and then start plugging stuff in. And then I've got the new speaker system, and the new Blu-ray player. And then tomorrow I've got to go to the cable store, to Time Warner, and get a new cable box, because this one is old and it doesn't have HDMI, only analog. Oh, and I just want to mention, some of you might be wondering what this is. It looks like a power strip, but it's not. It's really dusty. It's a battery backup unit, or a uninterruptible power supply. I strongly suggest that everybody use these on anything they really care about, because it totally protects against brownouts, blackouts, lightning strikes, surges. Okay, the regular power strips, the so-called surge protectors, are absolute crap. They're great for giving you more outlets, and that's about it. It's a false sense of security. This is 100% protection. Everything you plug into the battery side is going through a 12-volt battery, completely separated from the household electrical supply. And you have no idea how bad your electrical system is, or your grid, until you plug one of these in and you hear all the faults and the protection that happens just randomly during the day. But I have these all over the house. Like I said, anything of any importance goes through one of these. My whole office, living room here, bedroom, you know, studio, everything. So they're cheap. These little guys here, I mean, this is good enough for the living room theater system. It was like 60 bucks. This is an older model. It's a ES350 is the model number, so nothing that special. I've got a big ass one for my computer system, because that really cranks up the power. But home theater systems and TVs, especially flat panels, don't need anything special. You can get these at Walmart, you can get them at Sam's, you can get them at Office Max, Office Depot. They're pretty cheap from Newegg on sale. You know, just get one. Definitely get one. How's that shelf system coming together? Back to Wally World one last time. I do need to get a couple HDMI cables. I need one for the Apple TV and one for the Blu-ray drive. I'm assuming I'll get one tomorrow with the new cable box, so I'm going to wait and pick up one tomorrow if I need one. But I thought I had some, and it turns out those are DisplayPort, neither of which I've used in my systems before, so you know, it looked similar when I looked at it, and they were still in the bags and everything, so I didn't try to plug them in. But just tried, and nope, those are not HDMI cables. So luckily it's you know, Christmas time, so everything's pretty cheap. Walmart says they have some for $7. Best Buy's got one on sale for $15. I just need the basic ones. I don't need the ones with the audio through or the Ethernet built in or anything, so just basics will work just fine. I'm gonna go grab a couple. I've got everything assembled, TV mounted. Took a long time to get that thing correctly centered and mounted. Number one, it's really heavy. It likes to drift. and the cinches for the tilt did not work very well. I ended up putting one of the assembly wrenches in a slot to bind it and stop it from tilting down. That holds just fine, but not the best mount. They say it holds up to 140 some pounds. No freaking way. It doesn't even hold, this is probably a 90-pound TV. Doesn't even hold that from tilting. So, but the whole thing is rock solid and it looks great. I've got the receiver on there. I'm just starting the cable management. That's how I found out the HDMI cables are wrong. So I'll get it done tonight. It's looking good. Oh, baby, it's looking good. Just have power to the basics right now just to make sure everything fires up. Got the TV on. Got the Apple TV just direct into it right now. I just wanted to make sure that the TV was working fine, and it is. I went through and updated the Apple TV, which took about 20-25 minutes just for that to pull through. Got it connected to my computer okay, so that's all set. There's an update online for the TV. It has to be done through a jump drive. I'll tackle that later. I put in all the calibration settings. There was someone that was had already done a professional calibration on this on the AVS forum. If you're not familiar with the AVS forum, by the way, it's it's audio video services. They have data on just about any kind of home theater component, including TVs, so you can go on there, and if you have a flat panel, you're pretty much guaranteed to be pretty much the same as everybody else. I mean, it's going to be very, very imperceptible difference between panels. So you can pull off the calibration numbers for a particular model and boom, get yourself a beautiful out-of-the-box picture now. I mean, it was great out of the box, but it was too bright, too sharp, just the typical out-of-the-box settings. But man, it is just perfect right now. And it's going to change a little bit. Plasmas do have a bit of a warming up to do, so after a few dozen hours, it'll be even better. But right now, I've got to go ahead and piece together the audio system. That's going to be shouldn't be too bad, but I have to figure out the cables. And I gotta go back for another set of HDMI cables. I totally forgot that because I'm going through a receiver now, I've got in and out to take care of. So it's not just everything going into the TV anymore. So I'm short cables again. But it's cool. The audio passes both ways through the HDMI cables to the TV. I've got sound coming out from the Apple TV just with the one cable. That's cool. I don't have to use the digital audio. I'll have to see if it passes the 5.1 through, going through the receiver. It may, but I do have the optical cable if it doesn't. So that's not a big deal either way. But what I'm really curious to see is how the integration is between the components. Basically, how many remotes am I going to have to use? There's a lot of new features out now, like turning power off on one will send a signal back through the HDMI cables to turn the power off to others. Like I could turn on the TV, set it to an input, and the receiver will set up automatically, or vice versa. But there's a lot of brand compatibility issues, and it's just going to have to wait and see. So plugging along here, it's almost 8 o'clock. Everything takes time. Getting close. All right, guys, I'm calling it a night. It is 11 o'clock. I'll say 90% there. I got to make it look pretty. I got to get some different speaker wires, some flat ones, and I'll paint them red to match the wall. And I'm just going to go straight across there and behind everything so you don't see but a little section. Oh man, I got the screen calibrated. I got the speakers calibrated. Started the intricate setup stuff. I'm linking the components, renaming stuff. Got it where the Blu-ray will turn on and shut off and it switches inputs automatically. It's really, really cool. The audio, crystal clear. The picture, absolutely flawless. I mean, it doesn't get better than a big plasma. So really happy. Out the door, ground up, everything, $1,300. That is insanely cheap. That's hundreds less than what I got just the old TV for. So I will continue tomorrow because I'm beat. And I'll wrap it up and just make it look pretty. See ya.